Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business, and today we're here with Jayson from Torum. He's the CMO and co-founder there. We're going to be diving in to everything that Torum's all about, XTM, and just kind of sharing that with my audience who might not be super familiar with Torum and XTM and all that good stuff. But before we dive into all of that, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for having me here. I've been following your YouTube channel for quite some time, and it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Yeah, so for people who haven't really heard about you or Torum, do you just want to give a little bit of a background on yourself and just share a few things about yourself?
Sure. First of all, let's start with Torum. So basically, Torum is a social media platform that we specially designed for cryptocurrency users. So our ultimate goal is to connect every cryptocurrency users from every corner of the world and to provide a wide range of crypto-related service all in one place in under one ecosystem. Yeah. So that's the most basic intro about Torum. And the name of Torum actually comes from the combination of tokenized forum, the TO from tokenized, and then the RUM from forum. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and for people who don't know about you, do you want to just give a little bit of a background about yourself and then like how you got started with crypto?
Yeah, sure. So I started in my crypto journey back in 2017, and I was invited by my best friend, who is also the CEO and founder of Torum, Go Fong, and he actually invited me to, read about the Bitcoin white paper, Ethereum white paper, as well as Neo white paper. Back then, it was called the Chinese Ethereum. And when I started diving deeper into Bitcoin white paper, understanding the concept of consensus, all this inflation, all this limited maximum supply, and then moving on to Ethereum, got into the kind of potential and futures of decentralized applications. It got me really fascinated about the future of how crypto and blockchain is going to change our daily lives. And then, soon I found myself holding a bag of coins from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and etc. Yeah, that's my crypto journey. And now, for today, I'm the CMO and community manager of Torum. So basically, what I do is commit on the community building strategy for Torum, as well as devise the go-to-market strategy for Torum ecosystem. For example, we've been building the community for 9 months, ever since our launch on the 1st of July 2020. So our strategy is basically to start our community building organically, which means we don't do any marketing. So we took our time to build our culture, the culture, value, and identity, so that when things scales up, all right, we can have the culture is already strong enough, so everything will go kind of smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. So Torum is like a crypto social platform, and a lot of the people who follow me know that I spend a lot of time reviewing these and going through these types of platforms. So what to you makes Torum unique, and what experience is it kind of similar to? Like, is it more similar to like a Facebook experience? Is it more similar to like a Twitter? Do you just want to sort of lay out some of those caveats for us?
I like this question. Actually, if we're going to compare Torum with the existing social media platform, I would say that the social media experience for Torum is kind of like a mixed blend of Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit as well. We took inspirations from all the existing social media platforms to build the foundation, the designs of Torum. But also, we took the inspiration, but then we also built and designed our own user interface I think that one of the best things that Torum do best is that we always stress on our UI UX element. So this ensures that the social experience on Torum is always smooth and not as because compared with other crypto social media platforms, one of the things that we noticed is the UI UX is not prioritized. And when UI UX is not prioritized, the community build the social experience is not going to be great. So if the social experience is not great, people are not going to stay on there, and it's sort of like an inherent problem around the crypto social media platforms, and we just kind of go with it and solve it. But then that's only one of the things. And another unique things about Torum is we are unlike other projects. All right, we commit on our community building and raise our funds from our community first before we go for any private funding. So this creates a very unique scenario, because normally projects will go for private round, before they move on to community. But then Torum, we switch the role, and it kind of demonstrates the point where we have a very strong community consensus and support. And this is what actually this view is actually shared by our private investors as well. They're actually quite impressed, when they learn about Toro, and they was like, so you have no private round, and so you have already completed 2 rounds of community rounds from your community, and they're quite impressed. And this is one of the things that makes Torum unique from other projects in the market.
Yeah, because I do think that when a lot of projects start to go mainstream and then they get really big investment, I'm not going to name any names, but I have a few on the top of my head that that come to mind, where they started to kind of fall away from their community and focus more on the private investors, and it ended up kind of hurting the platform in the long term. So yeah, no, that's definitely important. One thing that I think is cool, like you mentioned with the community on Torum, I noticed that there's a lot of engagement. People are very engaged, and like the comments are, thoughtful comments, not just like kind of spam. Like a big problem with a lot of social platforms with crypto is because you're monetized to engage. Some people will just do the bare minimum. But I do find that there's a lot of like genuine conversation and engagement on Torum. So I was very pleased to see that. So that's also fantastic. And I like the aspect of having all the like badges and like emojis and things and trying to make it like fun and interactive with people, like kind of bringing that like meme culture into the social aspect and just like making it more fun and interactive for people. So I think you guys are definitely doing that really well. So what problem is Torum kind of setting out to solve in the social and crypto space?
We actually have 4 main problems, but to summarize up I think the main problem is we feel that there's a strong need for a project to connect cryptocurrency users, because at this moment we have seen, before Torum even exists, right? We have a lot. I think we have over 50 crypto social media projects, but we noticed that cryptocurrency users aren't concentrated in them. We are still in a phase where we're relying on traditional social media platforms. It doesn't matter if it's Facebook or crypto Twitter or Reddit. All right, we are still relying on them, and we feel that there's a strong need for the crypto community to have a social media platform of our own. so that we can also solve the issue of information asymmetry. Where because of the existence of information asymmetry, all right, there's an uneven information flow between among the communities. All right, people get scammed a lot, and it's a very pressing issue that every crypto project must face before we can have the crypto industry goes into the mainstream phase. And we also alternatively, okay, we also found that crypto projects, all right, the marketing, there's not a single cost efficient marketing channels for crypto projects to really reach out to their target audience. Except from Telegram for community building, you have crypto Twitter for building up some content, sharing stuff, providing some opinion, etc., etc. Because crypto users are still remain separated among so many social media platforms. It's really hard to really hit the attention span of the cryptocurrency users. So that's how Torum comes into mind. And then another small part will be, we notice that there's a really a lot of issue about token utility. When the bear run in 2017 comes in place, we notice that basically every token value just got depreciated a lot. A lot of the people just dumped the coin. And upon noticing this issue, we feel that the most direct way to address this would be to build an ecosystem around a token. That's how a token gets the utility, and with the support of its community. And then we thought, why not build an ecosystem, a crypto ecosystem that uses a social media platform at its foundation. Now, here's the thing about using social media, and I think that it's a very brilliant way, because social media connects people, and it provides a really strategic spot for crypto projects to advertise themselves, because basically Torum has all the crypto has I guarantee that I can say that 90% of Torum users were all cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Everything is related to crypto. So the community are all here. You don't need to spend so much money on marketing investment for crypto projects. And then once we have both the users and the projects all together in one place, all right, that creates a strong support for our native token XTM, for our VAP, so for its long-term utility value. And it's a perfect solution to all four problems that are covered. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the whole reason that I got into crypto social and blockchain social was because I believed that the current platforms were kind of like, the legacy platforms were kind of stifling cryptocurrency, conversations, blocking certain URLs, not allowing advertising for cryptocurrencies. So they were definitely making it challenging to reach those types of users. And, several years, or 3 or 4 years ago when I started, my thoughts were that people in the crypto space were going to go to crypto and blockchain platforms and leave the current platforms. And that was naturally going to be the way that they would all be able to interact and kind of get out of the traditional systems. So I fully believe in that mission, and that will definitely be the way that we bring it to the mass adoption and get the masses more involved with crypto. The easiest way to do that is to get them earning it versus trying to get them to buy it. So I think that's a very important component to that. So you guys, you mentioned that you were doing your pre-sale and that fully went through. Do you want to share a little about that? How when is that going to be launched? Like when will we actually see the full token launch? When can people start using it and earning it and transacting? And what will that all look like?
Okay, cool. So our pre-sale was concluded back in early March. I think it was not on the 10th of March. So we are currently in the private round phase. So our private round has not yet finished, and we are now joined by three good, very good, actually very good private investors. Among them, two are very prominent. One is from China, and another one is from US, and they are very reputable. And based on our current progress, I would say that will be our public sale will probably be organized around May in May. So after our on May, yes. And another thing about our public sale will not be just selling tokens. We think because with the recent rise of NFT, we thought that it's a pretty great innovations. It's a really pretty good blockchain innovations, and we would like to integrate that into our public sale. So we're going to do a new type of offering called initial staking NFT offering. So instead of just issuing tokens, XTM tokens, we will be issuing 5 different kinds of NFTs to our community. And like I said, like I mentioned just now, we really emphasize on token utility. So these NFTs will not just be used for collection purpose. They will have the options. They will have options of staking. So after our public sale is concluded, all right, we are going to launch our liquidity pool on PancakeSwap because Torum, our XTM, will be migrating to the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem very soon. All right, and after that, by using the NFT that is offered under the initial staking NFT offering, all right, all these users they were able to obtain a bigger stake in their liquidity pool, in their liquidity farming. We're going to also have a farming model for it. So after they can use the LP token that they get from the PancakeSwap, all right, and stake it on our upcoming DeFi platform, Torum Finance, and earn 2 kinds of token. One is XTM, our native token. Another one is the governance token of Torum Finance, XTM. So it works like a dual liquidity farming reward kind of thing. Yeah. So that's all for our public. So that's all for our public sale. So at the end of the day, what you said about the public sale and listing, and then maybe even to the Torum wallet withdrawal, everything will be completed in the Q2 of 2021. Yeah, it's all good.
Awesome. And then for people who are kind of new to XTM and what it's all about, do you just want to kind of break down the tokenomics and how are users going to be earning it on Torum and what that's going to look like?
Okay, cool. So basically, XTM, we allocated 25% of XTM into our Torum ecosystem. So the 25% of this XTM total token supply will be provided to our community in exchange for community interaction. So basically, we have a system called Mission, and we have daily, weekly, one time, and then referral mission as well. So basically, what you do is you contribute by providing interactions like comment, logging into Torum, and then sharing the post, and then you can get the XTM. And one of the things that we do makes us different from other crypto social media platform is our token is the total supply of XTM is fixed and deflationary. We're not going to issue any new more tokens. So it provides a really good long term price foundations for XTM, and it will benefit our XTM holder from a long term basis. So that's all for the ecosystem. We also have a liquidity provider incentives where after our public sale, all right, you provide liquidity on the pancake swap, all right, and then will have a fixed monthly reward of XTM for every month. Yeah, I think maybe also on marketing, we have a few percentage for marketing as well. But mainly the rewards come from both ecosystem and the liquidity mining incentive. It makes up a total of 40%, and we have plans to conduct a buyback and burn mechanism that will reduce the total token supply of XTM into 80%. So if you think about it, the team token allocation is only 25%, and the community at the end will get 40%. So it's our long-term plan to have XTM become a governance token and transform the Torum social media into a fully fledged decentralized autonomous organizations, and allowing our community to take on the charge of Torum in the future. Yeah, the transition is going to be slowly because I feel that every group project needs a strong foundation at the very beginning, which is what Team Torum is doing. But after that, we will have the community to decide on what sort of future that Torum is going to be about. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you say that it's scarce and deflationary. I'm curious as to how will that apply to rewards in the future? Like, say in like 4 or 5 years, or in 10 years, if there aren't any more XTM rewards to be given out, what is the process going to be there? Will there be some way that you guys are going to have like a boosting model where you'll take it and then put that back into the reward pool? What is that going to look like?
Yeah, cool. So based on our calculations, all right, the XTM for ecosystem incentive will be fully distributed in the period of 4 years. In the period of 4 years. So after that, actually, even after the 4 years is complete, we already have plans to commit on profit sharing. So one of the things that we do here is, right, for example, on Torum now, you can use XTM to buy crypto themed gifts and give it to the other person. So one of the things that we do is 70% of the gift value, all right, is channeled back to the ecosystem, right? I think of it as an ecosystem fund that holds the entire profit of the ecosystem, all right. And here's what we're going to do in future, all right. On a monthly basis, we're going to use the profit that the ecosystem has and distribute it back to the community. So we're not going to do it, just channel it back, because we emphasize a lot on gamification. All right, so we like to make things more interesting, and we have a thing called mining simulator. It's a crypto mining simulator game, like sort of like a roller coin. All right, so we provide people the options to play mining games and then earn hash rates, and then we'll distribute the profit back. The ecosystem profit. We'll allocate a percentage of the ecosystem profit, and then we channel it back to the community. Yeah, that's one of the ways that we're going to do. But my point is, it doesn't matter uh, if the token allocation for ecosystem is fully distributed. At the end of the day, this ecosystem is going to make profit, and it's the community that make this happen. And we're going to redistribute the profit back to the community. Yeah, just like the governance.
Yeah. And so I know there's always a concern around the ability to withdraw funds and KYC restrictions. Can you just speak a little bit to that in terms of any restrictions around withdrawals, and if there's any potential plans in the future to have KYC of any kind or any restrictions around KYC?
Yeah, actually, Scott, I'm glad that you asked this question because I remember a few months ago, if I remember correctly, you covered a video about Somi that highlighted about the withdrawal issue, right? And yeah, it actually got us thinking
they still are shut down their blockchain. You still can't withdraw today, so it's been like 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, and I'm glad that you made that video because it's a wake-up call to Torum, and got us thinking about how we're going to handle it differently. So, conclusion. All right, we're not going to do KYC. All right, the withdrawal, there might be some restrictions. All right, especially on the amount of token. Maybe we're going to have our community users to maybe collect a certain amount of XTM before providing the option to withdraw. All right. The main reason for doing this is we are taking into account the community sensitivity towards the token price, because cryptocurrency communities, every one of us, we are very sensitive to token price, and as well as token supply, etc. All this sentiment, all right, no matter how strong your ecosystem fundamental is, it doesn't matter if it's Binance that we're talking about today and Binance and BNB, all right, when the token price drop, all right, people will get frustrated easily, and it creates a very toxic kind of toxic impressions that are going to keeps on hitting back and forth, which is why we decided that it's best to come up with a mechanism to find a balance point. It's actually about finding a balance point between withdrawing the tokens, but also controlling the token supply and maintaining the price of XTM to a certain extent. We can't have full control of it because the market is public. We can't control it. We can't manipulate it. So at the end of the day, it's still up to the community on how they wish to treat XTM, as well as the project, as well as the Torum ecosystem. But then it's just our idea, all right? It's just our idea. So we will always be communicating with our community on every platform developments. That also includes withdrawal. So if the community has a different idea, a different approach on the withdrawal, all right, we're going to discuss with them and find the best way with them. But I wish to emphasize there's not going to be any KYC for our Torum ecosystem. That's too intrusive, and we understand that because Torum is made by cryptocurrency users. So yeah, we understand that the sentiment of it.
Yeah. And I think it's just important to always note that, because of, like you said, there are other platforms that don't really respect that as much. And you've always got to have a balance between full accessibility to your funds and having some sort of restriction for people who are just like spamming the network for funds. So I think having just like a basic requirement that you have to earn a certain amount is a nice like light restriction where it's not like you're really like preventing anyone from doing anything. They just have to kind of put a little bit of time in first and then they're good to go. So I don't think that's like an unfair thing to have. And that kind of helps with, like I said, like with spam and all that stuff. And then you guys don't have to go the route of KYC and all those other restrictions. So that's good to see. So how decentralized, I guess, is Torum and how integrated is it with the blockchain? Like, is content actually on the blockchain, or is it hashes on the blockchain, or is it mainly just the crypto that is integrated? Do you want to just break that down for us?
Okay, cool. So Torum ecosystem, all right, will build on a hybrid decentralized model. So answering your question, the data are all stored in the centralized server, all right. We're doing it in an off-chain way. In the future, I think not in future. I think in the coming few months, we'll be migrating the centralized data elements into IPFS. You know, I think that the IPFS is a much more better options than centralized. We understand that as well. And another thing about the centralized issue, I mean, Torum always asked as well, because people are asking us why are we building Torum on a Torum social media on a centralized way. And actually the reason is actually it's fairly straightforward, because we found that the existing crypto social media platforms, they are using the decentralized way, right? So for example, if we talk about Hive, they use the public address. So to create an account, you're going to have I think, if I remember correct, 4 keys. Is that 4 keys? I think it's 4 keys.
Yeah, you have your master key and then your 4 sub keys. Yeah.
Yeah. So we feel that if Torum is going to connect, because we want Torum to be not just appealing to the cryptocurrency users, but also to the general market who are interested in crypto. So if you are going to ask a newcomer, all right, someone who just maybe learned about Bitcoin yesterday, and they wanted to hop into the discussion with cryptocurrency users, we can't just ask them to straight away get into using all this public key, private key, master key. It's going to be too much of a hassle, and so which is why we have decided to adopt the traditional username, email, password, login approach, where we can ensure that cryptocurrency enthusiasts like us can remain using Torum as the ideal social media platform, but also allowing anyone who is totally new to crypto to gain access to Torum and get in touch with the crypto connection, with the crypto communities on Torum. And yeah, that's the part for the Torum social media. But we are going to be expanding our ecosystem to the DeFi and NFT space. So we're going to build an NFT marketplace, all right, and also in the ecosystem DeFi platform. We're going to be building it, all right, and yeah, for the NFT marketplace and the DeFi platform, both of them are going to be fully decentralized. They're going to be fully decentralized, but here's the unique thing about Torum. Our ecosystem has 3 main components right now. We have social media platforms, we have NFT marketplace, we have a DeFi platform, and the thing that holds these 3 components together, the core of the ecosystem, is the social media platform. So we'll be connecting both the fully decentralized NFT marketplace and the DeFi platform with the centralized social media, because we're infusing both centralized and decentralized components together. So it creates a very unique and dynamic synergy among these ecosystem components when users, centralized social media users, can still gain access to decentralized services like DeFi and NFT on their MetaMask wallet, And yeah, I think this is something that we have not seen in the crypto industry so far, and I believe that Torum is the first one to do.
Yeah, and I do think it is important to have a balance between being entirely like decentralized and still being, accessible to people who might, not be super crypto savvy, or because I know that's a big issue for people going on to the more decentralized platforms, is just not really understanding the caveats, and it's like much more challenging for them to get started, as well as, when making an account on Steam or Hive, it's going to take, a lot longer to actually get that account made because it's also in a decentralized way. So yeah, it's always important to have a balance between the two, but the fact that you guys are, working to make decentralized aspects of the platform is good to hear. So what are some of the next big updates coming to Torum that we should be expecting? What are some things we should be looking out for?
Our next key developments will be the release of our NFT marketplace, as well as our DeFi platform. Our main focus right now is still on the NFT marketplace, where we can have crypto artists on Torum to advertise, to list their NFTs on the marketplace, and then we will allow them to connect to connect their NFT to the Torum social media to be featured on the social media platform. And this creates a really unique, a very attractive use case, because one of the things that crypto artists get frustrated is definitely about the overall exposure for their artwork, for their NFTs, right? They are thinking of, how am I going to sell this to the market, all right? And I think that integrating the social media aspect of Torum allows crypto artists to really take advantage of the social side, and straight away you are exposing your NFT, you're advertising your NFT straight to the cryptocurrency users, straight to the target market that you're reaching out. And I think that that's a really strong, I would say a new use case that are born out of the combination of social media and NFT marketplace. And the NFT marketplace and DeFi platforms is going to our primary focus at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't think of any other social platforms where you like display your NFTs. So I do think that's a very important integration that that social is going to need to see for NFTs to become a lot more, I guess, more mainstream. They are becoming mainstream, but to become more integrated with our mainstream applications and the things that we use. Because yeah, I think it's hard to share your NFTs if you have to like try to get people to leave the platform to go and look at it. But if it's just like right there, I think that's very, very powerful, where it's just kind of like a part of your channel and your personality. Like if I wanted to have an NFT, I would probably have to like, have like a digital screen on the wall and have it like displayed for a certain amount of time to like get people to like take notice. But if it could just be like on my social profile, then that's a much like more direct way to kind of have that exposure. So I think that is very, very cool. And I can't think of anything else that actually has that. So that's really awesome to see. So where would you say that, I know you compared it to Torum to being like a mix of Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit, but where do you feel that Torum fits in with other existing crypto and blockchain social platforms? And then how is Torum sort of uniquely different, or like what are some of the caveats between those?
Okay, cool. I like this. I love this question as well. Yeah. So if you look before Torum exists, if you look at the crypto social media industry, all right, we notice that a lot of the projects centered, they are focusing on the concept of censorship resistance, freedom of speech, uh, privacy focus, that sort of concept, those sort of ideas and values. And for Torum, right, we believe that all these concepts, all right, they are all the basic fundamental rights of human. And we think that to emphasize it is just, it's only relevant to a certain extent. We feel that that's not something that that's represent Torum, all right, because I mean that's what that's all this value is what is expected from a social media platform. So Torum, all right, we focus on that one thing that holds every cryptocurrency users together, crypto. So when we build the identity, the culture, the value of Torum, we always ask ourselves, is this thing related to crypto? Is we are going to, when we are committing on marketing as well, when we are going to attract new users to Torum, we always ask ourselves, is this users related to crypto? If it's not, then that's not what we're going to, work towards it. And it separates us from other crypto social media platforms, where in other crypto social media platforms, we see a lot of, I would say, funny communities, that are totally unrelated to crypto. And it kind of makes Torum unique, where Torum only has the majority of a Torum community consists of cryptocurrency enthusiasts, and it's just so simple and unique, and you can't find that kind of a crypto-centric social media experience, all this interaction, dialogue experience. You can't find that on other platforms, only on Torum. I think this is the one of the two main things that separate us from Torum. Another thing is the token utility. When the bull run of 2017 hits, all right, token price drop right nowhere, and the same goes to every social media token in the industry. And it got us thinking, there's definitely something wrong with the tokens of crypto social media. And upon analyzing them, we found that they are, because of their wrong approach in attracting users. Like I said, the first step is actually wrong. This is my perspective, all right. Attracting general communities to your crypto social media platform is definitely not the right way to do it, because general market doesn't care about crypto, and only the crypto users care about it. So when they design their token utility or this project, they do not have a clear idea on how to integrate their token into their platform. Basically, their business model has some problem, and I noticed that a lot of projects, they are doing things for things. Like, for example, they are pushing on decentralized for decentralization. Just because they like, just because they want to represent, just because they want to promote freedom of speech, they emphasize too much on freedom of speech until they fail to understand that it's not going to be all these pretty ideas that are going to bring your project to the next level, but the actual use case and how you are going to get the community in line with you and get them to continue believing in you and stay with you throughout the bear run and the bull run. I think that's two of the main key points that I feel that every crypto social media project should ask themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, while those values are definitely important, it's kind of become an expectation that any crypto or blockchain related social platform should have some sort of form of decentralization, privacy focus, free speech, censorship resistance. So yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, where you're saying like that is an expectation more so than like the goal of the platform, and that it's not like that shouldn't be the only thing that matters. It's supposed to be about crypto, and then that stuff should just be like that should just be expected. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me that you guys are more focused on the pillar of cryptocurrency and blockchain rather than kind of gesturing to a bunch of different things just to get like those communities, whereas you think that should just be an expectation. So that makes sense to me. And then in terms of like where you see Torum going in the next year, in the next 5 years, I mean, it's hard to look that far into the future in the crypto space, but in an ideal world, where do you see Torum in like 1 year and then in like 5 years, ideally?
Ideally, what I hope Torum to be would be that I want Torum to be the ultimate adoption bridge that connects the general market to the crypto industry. Because I have always believed that to really trigger that crypto adoption, the crypto mainstream adoption, all right, to really trigger this ultimate goal, we need something more than just use case across industry, whether it's supply chains, IoT, etc. All right, we need something more than that, and we can't do that without the cooperation of the general market. And I think that, and I always believe that because the general market doesn't understand crypto, which is why they don't want to hop into it, and which is why it's very important for a platform like Torum to exist, where there's knowledge in it. We have the communities, we have the crypto communities in it. All right, we have all the information, all these source of news and information that are shared by everyone here, and it provides the perfect adoption factor for the general market to hop onto the crypto space, which would lead to the ultimate adoption goal that everyone is looking after, And yeah, that's how I foresee and envision Torum to be. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is everything from me. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on before we end this off?
For me, I think that I think that's all for my part. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything that I want to add for this interview. I mean, thank you, Scott, for having me here. Really thank you for inviting me to this show. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So where can everyone go to learn more about Torum? Where can they follow Torum, and where can they follow you?
Oh, sure. So to find Torum, just go onto your Google. Just Google Torum.com, and the first search result is going to be the one that you are looking for, because we bought the Torum.com domain. And to look for me, I am not very active on crypto Twitter and anything. You will have to you have to create an account on Torum and find me there. My username is Jayson, Jayson. Yeah, just Jayson. And yeah, you can all find me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So if you want to follow him, you got to go and get on Torum to actually do that and keep up with everything that he's got going on. Definitely go and check out Torum. It's very new. Actually, yeah. When did you guys actually launch Torum, real quick?
Oh, yeah. We launched Torum back on the 1st of July, 2020. So fast forward to this day, that would be like 10 months. Well, it has been 10 months since we last launched. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so definitely very new. Yeah, so everyone watching, definitely check it out. Get acquainted with it. make some posts, see what's on the platform. And I think it's very, very ideal to get started. There's a lot of engagement on there, and it's a great little crypto community. So definitely check it out. Highly recommend it. And again, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, Scott. Thanks for your help. Yeah. Thank you for everything.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.